Today we're going to start to learn how to create a 2D cartoon character in Adobe Photoshop. By the end of these tutorials, your cartoon character can look something like this. So what we're going to do to start off first is we're going to open Adobe Photoshop. We're going to press Command and Spacebar on our keyboard and type in Photoshop. Open up the 2018 version. And once you have this screen, go up to File and New. And when the dialog box appears, we are going to choose the Print tab here. And then we're going to choose A4. Here, you're going to name your character something that's you'll be able to find later on. So I'm going to call mine 2D character design. And then I'm going to put my initials and then my last name afterwards. This is all fine. We want to make sure that our portrait orientation here is portrait. Change this to CMYK color and then click Create. When you have your canvas here, you're going to go up to File, Place Embedded, and then from your desktop, you're going to place in your scan. Now that I have my scan here, I'm going to hold down Option and Shift to resize it to fit the page best. Holding down Option and Shift constrains the proportions. If I don't, it's going to make my character all squished. So make sure you hold down Shift. When you're happy with how it looks on your canvas there, you can either press Enter or you can press the tick up here. Now, I'm going to just rename my scan here. I did that by double clicking on the scan layer. I'm going to type in scan and then press enter. And I'm going to move this opacity down to about 50% so that it's a little bit grayed out so I can still see it behind, but it won't be in the way. I'm going to create a new layer and I'm going to call this one outline. And then with my brush tool, I'm going to change the size to be roughly about 40 pixels. That looks like maybe a little bit larger. You can choose what size you want your pixels to be on your character. Choose also hard round. And make sure your smoothing is at about 90%. That's going to create nice smooth lines when you draw with your Wacom tablet. So now with your Wacom tablet, you're going to begin, and also a black outline color here, you're going to begin to create your outline. If you make a mistake, you can use the eraser tool to erase out part of your design there. And then using the brush tool, I just press B on my keyboard. That's a shortcut to get back to the brush tool. Just going to draw it back in a bit neater. To do the finer details, I'm going to make my brush size just a bit smaller. You can also use the square bracket keys on your keyboard to make your brush either bigger or smaller. To zoom in, press Command and plus. Now I'm just going to clean up these little areas here. I want it to be as smooth as I can. When you've finished your outline and you've made sure that all of the lines are fairly clean and consistent with each other, you can turn your scan layer off and on with the eye to see what it looks like without. I'm going to add some little details to my outline. So I'm going to make my brush size fairly small for these so that I can add in some little detail lines. And that's your outline done.